All right, apparently it's dumb take season. And look, here's the deal. This is where any of the writers that aren't on vacation in the NFL offseason start putting together lists. They are grading off seasons. They are putting everything into view. And now that spring practices are done, they are trying so hard to write something that makes sense. And there's a writer that came out and absolutely obliterated the Detroit Lions because of one move. And I just have to say, I am sick of dumb takes. And so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you what he said. I am going to back up the position of the Lions. And remember, we have talked about this contract for the entirety of the time that we've had this channel. All right, I think we are pushing 3 years. We're almost at 3 years here, or is it 4? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Right? Thank you for watching and sticking with us during that time. We love doing this. I mean, it is so much fun talking Lions football. It is. But when you're talking about it every day, you become even more invested and you become even more here. All right? Analytics writer Seth Walder, all right, I think he's with ESPN or something like that, gave Detroit a C. All right, and here is why. Here's what he had to say. I'm just going to read it. Just try not to get too upset. Don't hit anything around you, all right? Don't just it's dumb. The most important transaction the Lions made was for the 4-year, $212 million extension they handed to Goff. That's not a move I can endorse at that price, Walder wrote, and it has the potential to hamper the organization for years. He said Goff is a divisive talent, but I think most would agree he's not a top 10 quarterback. Who is the most? Because I don't know anyone. Maybe. And when you start naming people off, and we're going to do a list of quarterback contracts because, again, contracts don't work off of who's the best. They work off of who's next. In a world of an ever-inflating situation, an ever-inflating contract situation or salary cap, we don't work off of just who's the best. He said that offensive coordinator Ben Johnson deserves a fair share of credit for Detroit's offensive success. If Johnson leaves for a head coaching job in the near future, how effective would Goff be? It's a fair question. This is Dan Campbell's offense, people. There is a reason Ben Johnson hasn't left for 2 years in a row. There's a reason for that, and it's because Ben Johnson isn't the only guy calling the shots. Dan Campbell was the play caller when Jared Goff started turning it around and having a fantastic second half, last 6 games to his first year in Detroit. Anthony Lynn destroyed him. It was the combination of head coach and offensive coordinator that made him good. All right, it's not just Ben Johnson. Now, do they have a great relationship with each other? Yes. Also, can we just make this point very clear? Ben Johnson said no 2 years in a row to head coaching positions. Carolina Panthers, when they had the number 1 overall pick, and the Washington Commanders when they had the 2nd overall pick, both of which they could use on a quarterback, both of which Ben Johnson would be able to say, this is the quarterback that we want to lead going forward. And he decided to stay in Detroit. And his reason for staying in Detroit was it's better here. We have something special here. I want to win a Super Bowl here. The weather's warmer. I don't know. He made some reference to where they were at. Do you think he would do that if he thought Jared Goff sucked? Sorry, I don't usually use... Anyways, if he thought Jared Goff was a terrible quarterback, if he didn't think Jared Goff was a top 10 quarterback, if he didn't think the Lions could win with Jared Goff, would he stay? So if Ben Johnson is this phenomenal offensive mind and deserves all the credit, then why is Ben Johnson choosing year after year to stay with Jared Goff as his quarterback? Maybe it's because he realizes something that guys like Seth Walder don't, and that's that Jared Goff is a dang good quarterback. All right? Maybe that's because he realizes he is a dang good quarterback. All right, now let's look at the contracts that's going to hamper the Lions forever. All right? These are quarterback contracts by total value. All right? By total value. At number 1, well-deservingly, There's Patrick Mahomes, all right, at $450 million. By the way, when that contract was signed, nobody said, oh, he's not worth it. But that's looking like a steal now because they signed him to a 10-year, $450 million contract. All right, he stayed healthy through the first half of the contract. Congratulations. You've won a few Super Bowls. Good work, a couple in that time. Number 2, Trevor Lawrence just got more money than Jared Goff. Is Lawrence better than Goff? Are you kidding me? No. I understand he's younger. All right, I understand he's younger, but he's not better. Joe Burrow has more money. Justin Herbert has more money. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray has more money total and Deshaun Watson than Jared Goff. And yet we're saying this is going to hamper the franchise going forward? Get out of here. This is just who's next. Who's next? $53 million. Now let's go to the average per year. Yeah, he's number 3. He's number 3. I get it. He's the guy who signed most recently. Trevor Lawrence just got more money than Jared Goff. Get out of here with that. All right, look at the guys behind him, all right, or right in the same category, all right? And we say he's not a top 10 quarterback. I'm going to ask you the question, who would you rather have, Joe Burrow or Jared Goff? I get it, Joe Burrow. Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff? Goff. Justin Herbert or Goff? Probably Herbert. Jackson or Goff? Probably Jackson. I'd rather have Goff than Hurts. I'd definitely rather have him than Murray, Watson, or Cousins. And these are all the guys in the same level being paid about the same amount. And it's a 50-50 split on who you'd rather have, Goff or the other player. Now, maybe you disagree with me. I can throw that back up there. Maybe you'd much rather have Jalen Hurts. All right, the way I look at Jalen Hurts is they have a similar offense to what the Lions have, except you could make the argument that, they have the 2 best offensive lines in the NFL, the Eagles and the Lions. They do. All right, the Lions have great pass-catching wide receivers, but the Eagles have 2 of them. Like, the Lions have St. Brown, who's an unbelievable talent. The Eagles have Smith and A.J. Brown. Like, they have a good tight end. We have a good tight end. And our offense has been better. Our offense was better when you take the last 2 years combined. Kyler Murray, it's a no question. Deshaun Watson, it's not even a question. Kirk Cousins, he's 36. He's coming off a torn Achilles. It's not even a question. So I'm just sitting here saying to myself, why are we acting like Jared Goff? And why do people keep writing this same old tired story that Jared Goff isn't worth all this money because he's not that mobile, I guess. When Jared Goff has time in the pocket, he's an elite quarterback. We saw Jared Goff last year go up against the Chargers in L.A., all right, on Sunday Night Football. I think it was Sunday Night Football. And go toe-to-toe in just a ridiculous offensive throwdown with Herbert. And who came out on top? Just remind me on that one. It was Goff. I'm sick of the new... That's dumb. I'm not actually that bad because I'm confident in what we have. But the Jared Goff hate, when you take every measurable metric, whether it's completion percentage, whether it's touchdown to interception ratio, whether it's efficiency, whether it's passing yards, whether it's passing touchdowns, Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in every single one of them. Every single one of them. Against the blitz. I know the biggest weakness of Goff is when he gets pressure, but against the blitz, he's still a top 5 quarterback. All right, whatever. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Nothing like getting fired up in the middle of June. All right, peace out.